All right. This is Devin from Deadly Art Gaming. Welcome. For those that are coming for the first time, welcome. For those that are coming back, welcome back. Today we are going over the announcement of the new league for Path of Exile, which is going to be called Heist, which is pretty cool. So some interesting stuff that we're going to be going over. So first off, we're going to go over the video of the announcement trailer, and then we'll go down of all the kind of brief little bits of what's going to be incorporated with the heist. And also, I'll be going over some of the information that was given out yesterday from the devs and all that stuff. So, definitely a lot to go over and give some like my thoughts on it. And then if y'all want to, please leave a comment what y'all think about it. Um, what's your thoughts of the league? How you think it's going to go? What do you plan on playing? All that kind of fun stuff. Definitely love to hear that. If you do like the content, please hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. I will be doing weekly gaming wrap up news of different games, new games coming, changes, issues with lawsuits, whatever the case may be, I'll be covering. But also doing guides for games, just like PoE, Lost Epoch, stuff like that. Also, uh, guides and whatnot. So, and I also do live streams as well. So, feel free to check all that stuff out. But like I said, first off, we're going to go over the video and then we'll kind of break stuff down and then we'll kind of go over the thoughts and all that stuff at the end. So here we go.
Thank you, everyone, for being on time. We have a lot to cover. The mark is in the rear of the dining hall. Cast, you're up first. You'll need to crack the lock and get us inside. Once we're in, Talina will use the vents to bypass patrols. There's a steel barrier that blocks access to the hall. Tebs, can you handle it? Great. Then Isla just needs to bridge the gap. There's enough in that bunker for all of us to live very comfortably. If we stick to the plan, we should have no trouble at all. If we stick to the plan.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. In this new league, you will plan and execute elaborate heists. Travel to the rogue harbour and hire a crew of thieves to perform tasks such as lockpicking, demolition, and transportation. Break into a secure facility and be careful not to trigger the alarm. Bypass security measures and infiltrate the vault containing a valuable artifact. Make a mad dash back to the extraction point to lock in your haul. Use your cut of the profits to obtain a blueprint, uncover escape routes, and train your crew as you plan the ultimate job, executing a grand heist. Choose your payoff from exclusive new items such as alternate quality gems, trinkets, body and weapon enchantments, replica unique items, experimented base types, and more. Plan your escape on September 18th.
All right, there we go. All right, so I want to let y'all know of one thing that the devs did say yesterday. There is a few things that it's going to be into this league where a lot of this stuff is going to be experimental stuff they're testing, trying out and stuff like that. So there's a few of the things that are the aspects of this league are actually kind of we're testing for future long-term use and stuff like that. But I'll kind of go over some of that stuff as we go down here, and then the other stuff that's not associated with this. Um, so essentially, you're doing heists. So you'll come through. You get uh, mercenaries that come with you. You can hire them, kind of build them out, give them items to increase uh, experience, drop rates. There's the what was it? There's some that increase mob density, just random um, buffs, experience for them to level them up. Because the higher you go, the more you can train them in certain fields. So like one could be, well, they have a list of traits that they can kind of be proficient at. So you'll want to sit there and kind of make one high in lockpicking, one in like espionage or stealth or just random things of whatever once we get in there and see all the different aspects of the heist itself, because apparently there's different tiers, because there's just regular just contracts that you'll do, then you'll have heists that you'll do, and then you'll have a big grand heist at the end, which is the big one. So like you say, you'll get gear, armor enchantments, trinkets, alternate quality gems, where that actually changes the gem up a little bit and gives it quality and stuff. So there's, and then replicas of your uniques and stuff like that. So quite a few things in here. So buy your passage to the rogue harbor where you'll consort with a crew of thieves who offer various services. That will be your rogues or the people that come with you. So 13 rogues can be contracted to assist you with setting up and executing a heist by filling roles such as transportation, lock picking, demolition, so they can bust open the doors, lock pick the doors, get over terrain like there's where you need a bridge that would you need the transportation or possible body of water you need to get over, stuff like that. So essentially you hire your specialists so you can actually gear them out where stuff like this use as currency for this is basically your markers. This is what you use to um, purchase your rogues and stuff like that and their trinkets, whatever the case may be. So this will be a contract that you got to go do. And this is one with some rare mods on it, just to make it a little bit more juicy. These are your rewards you go to sell to get more of this. Um, and not exactly sure what this is. Sap of the entire tree, known only to grow at the meeting point of the seven waters. Nothing since its disappearance. So, I didn't really hear any information on what that would be. Well, I guess we'll find out later what that kind of entails. Some of the screenshots, it looks like they're blowing through a door. Alert level. Um, and then execute the heist. So once you do your contracts, you get all your blueprints to kind of map your way through how you're going to get to there and your escape and all that stuff. You go execute your heist. And then, of course, as you learn more of the level and stuff like that, you'll unlock the grand heist where you'll do a big heist and it's going to be kind of chaotic. And so this is what I was talking about. You equip them with stuff that you get by and stuff like this. So like this would be increased job experience gained. This one is a blowtorch, so I'm guessing to help cut through stuff or burn stuff down or whatever the case may be. Lock picking, I'm guessing. Um, Not sure. Kind of, I don't know. And then some cloaks, so you can get them some to kind of help them not be higher notice as often, stuff like that. So this would increase your time before lockdown, so being alerted. Um, and here's where you kind of level up their skills. So this would be lock picking. I'm guessing that's like traps. Um, Not sure what that would be. It looks like a grappling hook or something like that. So just different aspects that you can level up to make them more proficient at. Um, and then you essentially plan out your grand heist. So these are what you'll need to get into these areas, and then this is who you would need to get into said this area. So these are like your extraction points, escape route, um, and the doors and stuff that you'll need to traverse to get to said rooms. Um, let's see. So this would be here. So essentially, and it's an extraction point again. Escape route. So you can kind of plan where you're going to go in, where you're going to try to escape out of, and stuff like that, and hopefully you don't get trapped in that area. You can get just like normal rares, normal whatever. So, and these are the blueprints that you'll get throughout. And then these are the trinkets. So, one of the exclusive rewards you'll be able to steal from the Grand Heist are trinkets, which go in their own new equipment slot. These magical items influence what rewards you'll find yeah, you'll find from future heists you run. Some of their modifiers affect the item dropped by enemies and chests, while others modify the rewards that could be attained from the high special reward chest. So, like this one, um, drop corrupted in heist, rarity in heist, double divination cards in heist chests. This one would be chance for regal orbs to drop as exalted orbs instead in a heist. Um, Rogue's markers dropped by monsters. Chance for double maps from heist chests and double scares from heist chests. So just ways to kind of juice up your drop rates of different aspects of the heist, which is pretty cool. Now here's where we get into the big juicy stuff. Alternate quality gems. Alternate quality gems come from the Grand Heist reward room, provide even more depth for existing skills and support gems. Even existing Path of Exile gem has up to 3 alternate quality versions, which grant different quality bonuses than the original gem. Some simply increase the power of the gem, while others entirely change the build most benefit from the gem. So we noticed this one first off, Archmage. It also added on the cold damage of mana cost. So different things that you're basically, instead of just having your normal gem, you're going to have a couple different variations of it, or just making the quality of that one more powerful, whatever the case may be. So definitely going to change things up. That's going to be kind of interesting to see how things will play out with that once the builds start getting played in. So now, since because right now we don't know as far as what skills that's going to include. Like, is it all skills, just certain set of them? We don't know all that stuff just yet. But if it is, what are the 3 different uh, ways it can be that the ultimate gem will come out to where as far as making builds around. So it's definitely gonna stir the pot a little bit on the uh, builds and stuff. So replica uniques and experimental base tops. Other awards you can claim from Grand Heist are replica unique items and experimental base type. Replica unique items result from attempts to recreate unique items of legend, where the end product has a few crucial differences. There are they're often uh, appropriate for entirely different character builds than the original item. Experimental base types are a variety of new item base types that have exotic properties that differ from their core game counterparts. So, um, so essentially, you can create some. It's kind of like the gem where it can change it up a bit. And make it something a little bit different. So, like on this one, life recovery from flask. Uh, Blasts are applied to energy shield during blast effect, eldritch battery during flash effect. So, um, definitely some. They're kind of changing, stirring the pot as far as what we have, what you get. You can kind of change and kind of make some interesting uh, builds or workarounds. So definitely interesting. Um, Weapon embodying enchantments. The final type of new reward available from Grand Heist is a selection of weapons and body armor enchantments. These enchantments come on unnaturally powerful, rare items and affect the magnitude of modifiers on those items. Some of these enchantments are so powerful that they involve substantial drawbacks. So like this one, all items are linked or all sockets are linked. Life modifiers are 6% or 6% increased effect. Um, so if you have life modifiers on there, they get a better effect on those, and all sockets are linked. So essentially, all you have to do is 6 socket it, and it should be all linked. Yeah. And this one, 200% attribute requirements, but physical modifiers have 15% increase effect. So definitely some good stuff there to play around with. And once we get into it, we can kind of see how uh, many different versions of these enchantments you can get and stuff like that. So some new skill changes. We've added a new curse related skill and a new curse support gem. The new demon mechanic causes a self cast curse to increase the intensity over time until it expires. This works well in conjunction with the impending doom support, which causes an explosion of chaos damage when a linked curse ends. Curses have also received a new look. So essentially, it's definitely going to help with the whole cursing people that love the cursing builds and stuff like that. So might be something fun to play with, especially with exploding um, and all that. We've reworked the punishment skill so that it now causes the enemy to take increased damage while they are on low life and explode with overkill damage. Interesting. Um, yeah, that's the one where they explode. And no, yeah, we already went over that. Sharpen steel steel skills. We've revamped steel skills by introducing shards, deadly blades, fragments that hover near your character. The Call of Steel skill is available whenever you have a steel skill equipped and burst shards from the ground. providing more ammunition for steel projectiles and causes existing shards to explode out of impaled enemies. We've also added one new steel skill and reworked both shattering and lancing steel. So there's lancing steel uh, there. This one is splintering steel. That's another one. And then Kala steel. There we go. And then powerful spells. I'm actually going to look into making a build around this because I like this one. Alongside the introduction of 6 new spells, we've reworked Discharge and Glacial Cascade. A goal with these new spells is that while they are powerful in a variety of character builds, they have additional benefits when self-cast. So Blazing Salvo, bunch of fire shot at them. Mortars land when they overlap impact, while firing from further away causes the mortars to cover a larger area. So it'll cover a bigger area the farther you are away from where you're trying to hit. This is the one that I kind of like. Creates a void sphere that pulses with physical and chaos damage, pulling in all non-unique enemies. The sphere slows the enemies with increasing intensity the closer they are to it, and sucks their corpses into the void. Sounded pretty interesting. Flame wall, create a wall of fire. So normal stuff there. Much more. Let's see here. Heist also introduces over 25 new unique items, 12 new divination cards, a visual revamp to some skills effects, and much more. Corpse Walker. What was? There we go. Temporal Chain. Immune to curses while you have at least 25 rage. Um, okay. And they're bringing Paths of Exile to Mac OS, so that's pretty cool. And support packs. Um, so essentially, the way the heists are supposed to run, you're supposed to go in there and you're supposed to be stealthy. Now, one person did bring up the question, which was a very good question, is how are minions going to interact with this? Because of the fact that last I checked, when you're trying to do a heist, you're trying to be stealthy. Summoners are not going to be the best this league. Well, at least not for this content, because he said that essentially they will, as you've got to control them, because you're supposed to be. Normally, you go in there, they're going to go run after stuff. So you could still do it, and but it's going to be kind of hard. Now, once we get in here and we can actually play the mechanics, we'll actually get to see how it's going to work, because of the fact that uh, they did say, like, they asked about how can you just go in there guns blazing and just run in there to all the ends and all that stuff and get it done. Their response was, we'd like to see you try. Uh, so that's going to be interesting. Because I'm guessing, because there's an alert level, so as you're going in, I'm guessing every time you kill something, you're going to get a little bit of an alert level. Because and then because you're supposed to try to go in there, you got the patrols and all, so you're supposed to try to keep away from them so you don't alert them to where they sound an alarm, which puts it in lockdown, in which then you can't get into certain rooms. So the more stealthy you are, being able to get in there, get into different rooms and stuff like that without being seen, the better. The more you can get into, which means more blueprints, more stuff you get out of it for future heists. And of course, when you're doing the grand heist, you go in there, and once you still ever go in there and you break in, from what I can tell, you're going to be setting off an alarm in which you've got an escape. So then you've got to, I mean, I'm not 100% sure on that one just because they didn't really talk about how the full extent of the heist works. So if you're supposed to go in there stealthily, get into the main room, vault, or whatever the case may be, get into the vault without setting the alarm. If you're able to do it without setting off the alarm, you get to go in there, take your time, get your loot, do your enchantment, whatever's inside there, and then try to escape without being caught. Or if you set off the alarm, like say you break into the main vault where all the chests are, if the alarm is set, I'm guessing you would have a time frame. Because just like when you do a heist, you break in. If the alarm is set, you have a time frame before the police arrive. So I'm guessing once the alarm's set, you have to pick up your loot as fast as you can, get as much as you can, and then try to get to your extraction point or your escape. Because like these are your escape route. These are your extraction points. So this is where uh, you would have to go get your stuff and then run. See, like this one has a chest in there, so you'll want to go to these chest rooms, and then get to your. This is like your escape route to get to here, and then you escape or extract. Um, so it's definitely can't wait to get in and see how the heist actually functions, all that stuff. But like I said, we're not sure. I would venture to guess that if you set off the alarm, it's going to start sending waves of monsters to you, which will increase in difficulty. Um, that would be my guess, since they're saying you can go in there gun blazing and set off the alarm and just go do what you want. Good luck. We'd like to see you try. I would venture to say that it's going to be wave after wave of enemies, which will just get harder and harder and harder as you're trying to get to all those sub rooms and all that stuff to get the loot before they overwhelm you, or kill you, whatever the case may be, or capture you. I kind of wonder if you just die. I mean, I'm guessing that's how it's going to go. Is you'll just die and you port out like a map. It would be kind of cool if they just like you got arrested, um, and you had to go sit in timeout for 5 minutes or whatever the case may be. But I doubt they would do anything like that. So essentially, this is going to be something kind of like maps, where um, the way this is going to work, but it's not in game. So it's going to be throughout the game as you're progressing, leveling up, um, and they are um, so like I was saying earlier, there are a few things that they're testing out on this phase. So we did ask a few questions. We got some insight on some of the stuff. Essentially, the mercenaries are kind of a test of possibly adding them into the game for future use, to where, like, while you're playing the game, you can go hire a merc and go with you. So it'll be you and an NPC running around killing stuff. So it's not a definitive thing. They're just testing this with this. If it works out and everybody loves them, they might implement it into the core game to where you can do this on a regular thing. Maybe just for maps, maybe for core game, whatever the case may be. But they don't want to add it if it's going to deviate from the core playstyle of the game in the way that they are designing the game to be. So also, they're implementing the new 2.0 um, loot system that they've been working on. It might not be coming right when it launches, but it should be coming out fairly either with it or within a couple weeks of it launching. Essentially, what it's supposed to do is, it's not, because like right now you just get a mass loot drop and you just have a loot filter that just shows you what you want. So essentially, what this system is supposed to do, um, essentially, like if 10 items drop, or like say 100 items drop, it's gonna take say out of each item, there's going to be a pool of 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. It's going to take a set amount of those 100 drops, whichever one is the best quality or the best item out of that 10 pool is going to drop on the ground. And then every 10 or every 15 or every 20 or whatever of how much drops, that's what you're going to have. So instead of 100 items dropping, so if say the settings was 10, out of a pool of 10 you get the best out of that set of 10. uh, that would essentially be for if you killed a mob and 100 items were to normally drop, you would essentially have 10 items drop. So less of a loot explosion, but it's all going to be the better quality of what would have dropped. So definitely going to change things up. So I wonder how that's going to play into the whole loot filter stuff. So once that comes out, I'll probably turn off my loot filter, kind of see how it looks, how it feels. No, I'm still going to run my loop filter when I'm done, but I want to test it out and see how it works. Um, so they are going to be testing that with the game as well. Um, they did say that they are also working on the Vulkan stuff. There's a big technical update that they're working on right now to improve that even more. Uh, so that's also in the works as well. Um, So definitely a lot of stuff that there is being incorporated with this league. Uh, Definitely excited because I mean I wasn't too fond of the Heist League, or not the Heist League, but the Harvest League. I'm not much of a crafter. I never had the greatest luck in crafting, so um, I try here and there uh, for the most part, but um, essentially Harvest was a big craft league. I was kind of disappointed because of the fact that the prior several leagues were all about mass amounts of enemies. So you go in there, uh, breach and all that stuff, where you go in and you go through the the mist and all that stuff, and you're just fighting tons of enemies, and it just gets harder and harder and harder. I mean, those are fun. And all of a sudden we got Heist where you're not really doing much. Um, so it was all about planting seeds and then making them come out and then killing a little bit of mobs there. I mean, it was good, but not my cup of tea. Uh, so with this one, from what I've seen so far, the playthroughs as far as on the video and what I've seen, um, this is going to be a lot better. There's going to be a lot more into it, effects and all that stuff. So it'll definitely be a great deal. Um, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Um, so I can't wait for this to come out on September 18th and on PC, and then 23rd on the consoles. Um, like I said, let me know what y'all think, what y'all's expectations are on the game. What are y'all going to plan on playing or trying this league? Um, all that fun stuff. And if y'all like the content, please like the video. Subscribe to keep up to date with Path of Exile. And like I said, I will be covering all kinds of other games as well. So if y'all want to keep up with action RPG games, MMOs, whatever the case may be, I generally cover a lot of it. So, uh, but other than that, that's it for today. My name is Devin from Deli Art Games, and I hope you all have a great day.